The third question I asked my friends was, what are some examples of nanotechnology or nanomaterials in your field specifically?
I'm a physicist,
Like I said, I'm a physicist,
and I study a huge variety of things.
and physicists study the building blocks of the universe, or atoms.
The everyday objects that you see and touch.
Everything you can think of, from your oven to your favorite book to your refrigerator, is made up of atoms. And some groups of atoms behave quite differently than others. So you can think about a piece of paper, for example. It's very flexible, it's easy to fold, it's easy to cut, easy to tear. Now, if you think of something like a TV remote, it's not very flexible. It's not something you can fold or cut very easily or tear. But that's a pretty good thing, because if we couldn't cut paper, how would we have arts and crafts? And if we could just tear a TV remote so easily, then they wouldn't be very useful as TV remotes. So it's a good thing that different types of materials behave differently.
I'm a material scientist, and I work a lot in the field of energy research. There are really a lot of things that are considered nanomaterials that I work with.
But why do different types of materials behave differently? And that is a question that physicists like me can answer. We can study, create different types of experiments to figure out why certain atoms or certain materials behave the way that they do. And then engineers can use that information to create nanomaterials that are very good at specific jobs.
For example, gold nanorods, which are essentially clumps of gold metal that are shaped into the form of rods that are only 80 nanometers long, for example. I've also worked with carbon nanosheets, which are essentially these tiny sheets of carbon, and they're really good at doing things like conducting electricity.
So my field is biomaterials and kind of bioengineering, but focus more on the materials side of things.
So I'm sure a lot of you guys have learned in your science classes that our body is made up of cells. Cells are the smallest unit that make up our organs, so it makes up our heart, brain, everything like that.
Basically, nanomaterials are so small that they can sneak past the brain's barriers and get into the brain where other things just can't.
The majority of our cells have DNA in it. And one thing that nanotechnology is being used for in medicine right now is to deliver medicine directly to our DNA in each of our cells.
So nanomaterials are commonly used in drug delivery. Some nanomaterials actually can enter the brain where larger materials can't.
So if you have a cell that's growing kind of crazy, it might be growing too fast, it might be growing in the wrong place, you can have a nanoparticle that will deliver medicine to the individual cell, to the DNA within the cell, and treat the DNA that's sick.